Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Let me just do one quick thing here. Two quick things. Lighting. There. Okay, so today is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2025. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, almost 6 o'clock. Here we are in southwestern Nevada. We had a good rain thunderstorm last night. So that's always good, fun, interesting to people. Just topping off my coffee-ish sort of drink, protein coffee-ish sort of drink. My no dose, funk, everyday dose. All right, so we are here to help our students and interested people on as they experience this life. So if you believe in heaven and hell, if you believe we are not just atoms in the void, then you have to believe we have a soul that continues after death. If you don't believe that, that's okay. You're certainly welcome to watch, and perhaps some thoughts might come to you to change that idea. But it's fundamentally, we either have a soul that continues after death, or we don't. There's heaven and hell, or something, or there isn't. We're atoms in the void, or we're not. And if you choose to believe, if you choose to lead your life, live your life, as if there was something after this life, then this is kind of the place for you to be. Because our goal is to help you experience it the best way possible in 4 areas: physical area, mental area, emotional area, and the spiritual area. And the basic idea is this: we have been given the gift of having a body. We are spirit. We're like God. We're made in the image of God. We are spirit. And we have been given the gift of having a physical body, to go from being spirit to baryonic, having mass, having made of particles. And that gift is further broken down into having a body that we can do things with. In other words, we're not just a plant or a tree or a rock, but we have bodies that can do incredible things. We also have a brain that is not matched by any creature on earth. Our brain is more complex than anything in the universe other than the universe. That's number 2, physical, mental. And we have emotions that no other creatures have. This is what makes us different from other things. This is the gifts. These are the gifts. And we believe that the best thing to do, like with any gift, is to honor the gift. We honor the gift by using the gift for what it was intended, and to honor the person who gave us the gift. So you're given a gift of a bicycle. You honor the bicycle, in quotes, honor the bicycle by using it and taking care of it. You honor the person who gave you the gift of the bicycle by using it and taking care of it. So we have a gift of this body. We can do with it whenever we want. We honor the gift by using it as it is intended, and that honors the gift giver. So how do we honor our body? Well, we take care of it physically, fitness and health. We don't damage our body. We try to get the most out of it. How do we honor the gift of having the brain? We use it. We learn things. We apply the things we learn. And how about the emotions? We use the emotions in a positive way, not to hurt people or manipulate people, but to help people along the path also. Or as Jesus said, make disciples of all men. We are here to kind of frame that bring them that stuff, and enable our students and other interested people to move forward. And we believe that we have a soul. It's here, and where it goes next is it continues on the path it's on. So Hitler continued on his path, Mother Teresa continued on her path, very different paths. All right. And further, we believe that Jesus was man, God incarnate, that he came down to teach us. And that's the simplest thing. He came down to teach us how to best return. We're on this journey, right? To how do we best return to where we were before, to be one with Jesus and one with the creators. How do we do that? And that's a very simple explanation of Jesus, why he came, what he came to do, etc. And plus, he also got to experience being incarnate, to be baryonic, but to teach, not as I'm going to send you down to die for them. I love them, but they're bad people. They're stiff-necked people. They don't do what I ask them to do. They don't do what the prophets I told them to do. But what we're going to do is we're going to send you, and you're going to die for their sins, past, present, and future, and then they're going to keep behaving the way they behaved before. But now they're saved. So I'm really lowering my standard, because in the old days they had to be good. Now they don't really have to be good because you paid their price. Lots of problems with that. Lots of law of parsimony problems. Lots of Occam's razor problems. But that's the preamble. Now we've got about 3 minutes to talk about what's important. So today's theme, the theme of today is Goethe. What? So most people might look at that and say Goethe. What? What's that? What's that? Is that some kind of game? The more educated will probably say Goethe. Now I've seen that somewhere before, but it's actually Goethe. And for our purposes, for our education, our neuroscience-oriented approach to success, Goethe said something important that we start with, our premise. If you treat an individual as he is, he will remain how he is. But if you treat him as if he were what he ought to be and could be, he will become what he ought to be and could be. So if you treat somebody who's an alcoholic as somebody who's an alcoholic, or somebody who hasn't taken responsibility for their life, if you treat them that way, they will remain that way. But if you treat them the way they ought to be and could be, they will become what they ought to be and could be. So, for example, there's a lot of guys in prison who were raised with by mothers and no father. I'm specifically talking about white guys now. The mother believes she didn't love her son enough, so she makes compromises and sacrifices for her son on the belief that that's what love is. Love is suffering. The son gets that consciously or unconsciously he can manipulate his mother. So the cycle continues. So you have 40, 50-year-old guys that the mother is taking care of them. And she has the guilt that she just didn't love them enough. So the Goethe approach would be, if you treat him that way, you treat him like his mother didn't love him enough, she needs to give him stuff, he will remain that way. But if you treat him as if he were what he ought to be, in other words, the son is responsible for taking care of his mother. That's the number one duty of the son, is to take care of their mother. If you treat him that way, then he will become what he ought to be and could be. That is our premise. That is the Goethe. So, advice from an 80-year-old: take charge of your attitude. Don't let someone else choose it for you. The theme of today was almost the first law of power. So now we're going to stitch these together. Goethe and the first law of power. What is the first law of power? Well, the actual first law of power, not the 48 laws of power book laws of power. The actual first law of power is power perceived is power achieved. If people think you have power, you do. If people think you're smart, you're smart. If people think you're attractive, you are. Second law of power is never give up power. So, if you are an adult male and you walk around dressed like a kid, let's say you have long shorts, you have long socks on, a hat with the brim pulled up like that, and you have a bicycle, you're 35, but you look like you're 45, you're riding a bicycle with shorts and long socks on, what are you projecting? You're projecting that you're a 45-year-old guy who thinks they're a teenager, and all he has for transportation is a bike. That's what you're projecting. If you're a guy and you get up in the morning, you put on your sandals, or worse, you're a guy that puts on your shower shoes and you wear pajamas and a dirty hoodie, you're projecting not good. No power. Not somebody who should be taken seriously. Somebody who just doesn't get it. They just don't get it. And then those people who don't get it, it's like, yeah, people just don't get me. No, power perceived is power achieved. People perceive what you project. And if you project that you don't care about people, there's no reason people should care about you. If you project that you don't care about yourself, if you don't care about basic grooming, if you're unable to put on socks and real shoes, or to put on pants and underwear, or clean, no one's going to take you seriously. And then you're going to become just a kind of a bother. But it's your choice. Power perceived is power achieved. All you have to do is project power. Dress like somebody who's serious. Act like somebody who's serious. If you act like somebody who's not serious, people are going to treat you that way. Boom. Mic drop. No big deal. Okay, moving right along to our worksheet. Darren Hardy talks about this today also. Jordan Peterson, don't remember that one, but it was good. Daily Stoic, why this is the case. Don't remember that one either. Seth Godin. We'll talk about Seth Godin, then we'll go back to our TED Talk, and then we'll wrap it up for today. Which shelf is yours? A friend sorts his records in an interesting way, not by name or genre, but by which musicians are friends with each other. That means some shelves are very crowded, and I'm imagining a few notorious artists have plenty of room all to themselves. It's possible that we sort the folks in our lives this way as well. The people who can be counted on are part of our larger circle, a larger circle, who are dynamic or interesting or selfish, lots of shelves available to anyone willing to put in work or not. Okay, sort our folks this way as well. The people who can be counted on, who are part of a larger circle, who are dynamic or interesting or selfish, lots of shelves. So you can have a shelf of selfish people, interesting people, dynamic people, people who can be counted on, people who are part of a bigger circle. And so power perceived is power achieved. If you project that you're not somebody who brings anything to the table, that has a low self-opinion of themselves, that's a shelf over here that I don't really need to look at that shelf. That's kind of the unimportant shelf. That's where that person goes. You get to choose. That's the key thing. You get to choose what shelf you go on. Righty then. Alrighty then. Whatnot a Bevy is flying to Virginia today to be there for the 4th. I have a busy day, meetings. Got to return the truck. Yesterday was a big haul day. We're gonna a big haul for resources to help those most in need. Now we're going to find out from the people who participated what role they want to play in it. Are they in the all for one or one for all, or are they in the I gotta take care of me, I gotta get money for cigarettes category? I need money. And again, everybody gets to choose. Next. What is next? Okay, so that is it. So we've got a bunch of meetings today, and we will proceed. Okay, let's see. Just looking at the worksheet. Well, I think that's it. Take charge of your attitude. Don't let someone else choose for you. Power perceived is power achieved. Goethe, if you treat an individual as he is, he will remain how he is. But if you treat him as if he were what he ought to be and could be, he will become what he ought to be and could be. And the key thing there is the people outside my skull-sized kingdom help to guide me, provide feedback, so I can make the best choices on who I want to be perceived as. Okay, so with that, we're going to say and cut. Time to get on the peloton.